All right, so today we're going to be talking about symbolism. We're going to go over the definition. We're going to talk about a couple visual examples, identify some examples of what it would look like in things we've read this year so far, and then talk about paragraph 3 from Superman and Me. All right, so the definition of symbolism is quite simple, actually. It's really just something, person, place, thing, idea that represents something greater than itself. And so it's something beyond what it appears to be. There's a second layer there of understanding. This is nonlinear thinking, so it's not exactly always going to be 1 + 1 = 2 here. Sometimes you just have to say, like, oh, this is going to symbolize this thing. Okay, so to help us out with a couple examples from our world today, we've got 2 different birds here. And of course, a bird could be a symbolism of freedom, being able to travel wherever you want because they can fly. It could be a symbol for a lot of things, but specific birds here, we've got the dove, which is a religious symbol for peace, and the bald eagle, which is an American symbol for freedom. And so ultimately, you could have birds in the story or birds that are being talked about, but ultimately they're standing for something. And what are they standing for? That's what we got to figure out. So examples from things we've read this year. In The Great Gatsby, the green light represented that thing that Gatsby was hoping for, always reaching for, searching for, longing for, never quite getting to. And even driving. It doesn't have to be as kind of like... I don't want to say obvious, but as clear as the green light being a symbol. It could be something that's much more like it's just passing through. The characters drive very recklessly, and it's almost symbolic for the way that they live their lives. They aren't safe drivers. They live recklessly. And so the driving in Great Gatsby is actually a symbolism for how they live their lives. Important to connect here to the author's purpose. Why do you think the author is using this symbol? Very important to remember. So when you're identifying symbolism, it's actually important to look at the things that are repeated in different contexts. Usually a symbol will be introduced and then it will be expanded upon and then kind of shown in a different light, and you kind of have a better understanding of that symbol. There are sometimes symbols that you don't understand until the very end of the story. They may be introduced in the beginning. And so don't just say, like, I have to understand this symbol and 100% of it right away, but keep it in mind and ask yourself, what might it represent that is greater than itself? So to go back to paragraph 3 from Superman and Me, it actually talks about a paragraph and how a paragraph is basically this way to set up things. And that, like, there's an organization or an order to a paragraph, and there's reason behind it. And then, oh my God, like the paragraph is on the page, but like our house is like a little paragraph, and then this reservation is like a little paragraph, and then like the state, and then the country, and then the world. All of it can be viewed as paragraph, but it really speaks to this idea of order. And just like we talked about in the last slide, it repeats, and so you'll see it more than once. And then really kind of once again ask yourself, like, what does this mean? What am I really getting from this? And from the idea of a paragraph, he really understands order. So for today's lesson, you're going to be jumping into day 2 and looking for any symbolism. Remember, symbolism might have been introduced in the other day's reading, day 1, but look for things that are coming up again. Figure out, see if you can get to what it means and what that says about what the author is intending to do. So on your own right now, you're going to jump into the Google Doc, paragraphs 6 through 9, see what symbolism you can find, make sure you make a comment, highlight it, and then explain it and answer the questions that are in the Google form. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, 440-670-6979. And if you got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day. Hope everyone's doing well. Staying safe.